you for having me. I'm so sorry about the network challenge. The topic today is very fundamental because the politics right will have a major challenge with our democracy. There is no doubt about that. And the major problem from what we have witnessed recently has more to do with the way we pick people who represent the political parties in our parlance, the party primaries. If you look at the structure of all the political parties and their constitution, a lot of powers are usually given to the National Working Committee and order to determine quite a number of things, to the extent that in most cases you find out that what actually happened in the party within the locality do not actually matter. This problem is not peculiar to any political party in Nigeria. It cuts across all the political parties. I've been a member of PDP since September 1998 when the PDP was launched in GTC Oka. I was then an undergraduate in the largest university. But sometime 2 or 3 years ago, when we were trying to have an alternative platform because of the peculiar challenges the PDP was having then, our coordinator then was the High Chief Dr. We looked at the challenges political parties were having, and we decided the best thing is to find a way to ensure that the only people who determine whatever the political parties do are all just the members of the political party. We decided to have members, and every member must contribute funding of the political parties, not by individuals. Because political parties is just like another association where you need to make financial commitments. Before you be a member, membership comes with a. You don't have to be one. That in the clients where people pay tax, it's easier to hold government accountable. It's something in political parties where you don't know every member of the political party hopes to get the cake from people who want to aspire for one thing or another. You find that the control will not be with the people who are there. What we did in the APDA then was to ensure that every member of the party must be involved in picking the candidates of the party. You can call it the direct primaries from what people are canvassing now. Direct primaries means that you have to be actively involved in selecting who represents the political party, so that if you are convincing the candidate, you will always go to town with whatever the party part of the decision-making process. The other thing that we did was to make sure that the party should invest in electronic data collection. Every member of the party, his data should be with the political party, and you can vote. You must vote electronically. Of course, it looked utopian then, but actually, I'm not sure it will in any way encourage people faithfulness in political parties. If you're a member of a political party, you hope to run for an election in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years, as the case may be. You start putting the structures together. You start mobilizing the people. You start taking decisions. Unfortunately, there in the party constitution, there is a provision that somebody who has not been in the party for 2 years will not run for an office. That is not even the issue. The issue is that the major provision behind that grants a waiver for people who are not part of what is happening at the local to decide on who can run for the election. How would that encourage commitment? And the perception of people on how primaries, how their candidates are selected, has a lot to do on their understanding and belief in the process. And one way or the other, it affects democracy. So I think it's a very big challenge. The political parties should get it right. If you ask me, I think the idea of having the powers to, grant waivers. For instance, somebody like me, although people said that I was part of the process, elections we've done in Anambra State, most of the candidates have always had waivers, meaning that they've not been part of the party, they've not been part of the process. Look at what happened in the last 1999 National Assembly, moved across the party line. And they got back to that political parties and got the tickets. I'm sure you do not assume that those political parties do not have candidates or potential candidates mobilizing the party, putting the structure together. And they will tell you that somebody has office. If somebody has office, why did, for instance, in Edo State, why didn't Obaseke is the governor, and as the governor, he has the power to win election? Let's have the floor.
Yes, go on.
Okay, look at what is happening in Edo State. People give you the impression that the members of the political parties do not matter. That once the person is coming with enough clout to win the election, so why did the Obaseki go to the Accord party? Why did the Obaseki consider? So you find out that you still take your decision, believing that those people down the line will always align with you. And at the end of the day, they have little or no role to play in who gets the party ticket. First of all, making sure that the political parties are strong. And the first thing to do is to make sure that the members of the political parties are people who consider themselves members of the political party with high responsibility to ensure that they contribute and they ensure that they see to how the party runs. Not some other people bringing in billions to determine what happens. That confidence, have that trust, feel part of the political party. If the person is elected tomorrow, if he's not doing anything, trust me, they will have the confidence to say, no, this was not what we agreed before we gave you our vote to be our candidate. As a nation, find a solution to what is happening in all the political parties. Have things structured. And the problem, as I said earlier, is not peculiar to a political party. It's across board. APC, PDP, ABGA, a few people at the center take decisions. Even on who is the councillorship candidate, who is a member of the House of Assembly. You find out that in some cases you have automatic tickets for everybody, who has been this or who has been that. It usually doesn't go well. That is where the apathy starts. And once you have that apathy started from the political parties, it's a very big problem. That's why we continue to have money bags hijack positions. That's why we continue to have people who have contacts at the center hijack positions, even when they are not on ground, in terms of having the people behind them. For us to get it right in our democracy, we need to make the people feel part of the process. We need to make the people feel that they are the ones taking the decisions. We need to make people to understand that they have to participate, because people who are representing them are more like their agents. People who are representing them, they are the bosses of the people who are representing them. But what we have here is the other way around, where people come and feel that they are. But there's one politician in Anambra State. There's this general perception that he believes that everybody has got a prize. He has no business with you. On election, close to the election time, he comes to you, he names you a price he pays. With that, the trust on what is going on will not be there. People see that as probably they go and get their whatever palliative from the political parties and whatever they can take. So they are not interested in who becomes what. And their commitment is not there. And you can't tell me that they restrict that to the political. That's why vote buying. Vote buying is not with our general elections. If we think that vote buying is the problem starts with our general elections, we are deceiving ourselves. a situation where people collect 500,000 naira, 200,000, 300,000 to vote for a particular candidate in an election. To be a candidate in a primary, of course, the person will expect more for the main election. So it's bizarre. So we need to change that. We need to change the perception. We need to change that understanding. We need to change that mindset if we are going to get our democracy right. And if we don't start from the political parties, we are wasting our time, if you ask me. That's my opinion on that.
Continue, then go. You have answered the question. Continue.
Yes. Continue, yes. Go ahead.
Okay, I should continue.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that these are the things I didn't want to. I'm not here to start defending PDP over APC, APGA over Accord over PPA. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is, how do we get it right? That is the best thing to do. Every political party should, for instance, the APC did their direct primaries. How many people voted? How many members of APC do we have? How do they know who voted? Who produced the register? Is there any way you can know? Is there any way you can make reference to APC register in, let's say, Edo State or Ondo State? I know the number of registered members. It's what they produce to you, and the document, the register could be manufactured over the night. So what I'm saying is that we need to have that solution. It's a fundamental thing that all the political parties should do. Unfortunately, don't expect the political parties, people who are presiding over the political parties now, to do that. They will not, because you take the power.
Very much for the opportunity again. Yeah, I think I need to summarize all I have said before now, that the solution to our problem is to you just spoke about what happened in Edo and what will happen in the subsequent elections. Even what happened in 1999 election, where a lot of senators and a lot of National Assembly members moved across party lines and got automatic tickets. If the party is handed over to the people, the decision to hand over this party, APC to Yamu or Baseke PDP, I can tell you, the people in Edo who are expected to be the ones that will market these candidates were not involved. Let's give the political parties back to the people. That is where to start. I don't even want to discuss the ideology. What ideology are you talking about? Look at all the political parties. People who wrote the constitution, moved over to the other one. People who were here yesterday are the other side today. So what are we talking about? Hand the political parties over to the people. Let them determine. And I'm sure at all times, the people will always want one of their own. It's not about winning the election. The best way to build the political party is to ensure that you stick to the party. If somebody wants to join you, there must be a procedure. The powers to grant that waiver should be removed from all the political parties. Of course, they will not do that. The people will have to come together to demand for that. Very soon, probably we'll have somebody who will start talking about it. Remove the powers to grant waivers. Allow the members of the political party to determine who runs for the election, because they are going to market the election. And I repeat what I said earlier. When you said that this person can easily win the election, how? You need the people, you need the members of the political party. If not, why would Obaseki suffer what he suffered in the hitches he had in PDP? He would have just gone straight to Accord and win the election, or gone to PPA. So you still need the members of the political party, and the moment the members of the political party realize the powers they have, they will demand for that. The only thing you need to do is to ensure that the parties, the members of the political parties, pay their dues. Membership of every association, political party is not excluded, must come with some responsibilities. It could be a burden on the members of the political party, but you see at the long run, we are talking about looking at the exclusive list. How do you do that? You can only do that when the masses are in charge. If not, who will allow you to tamper with the exclusive list? Who will pass the laws? Our brothers in the National Assembly here will always want to determine what happens in Obo. They want to tell you what will happen in Yola. They want to tell you which road will be done in Abeokuta. From Abuja here. Our mother that talked about removing those powers from the center. It will be difficult. The first thing we need to do, the easiest one is, first of all, hand the power, the political parties over to the people, let the people manage the political parties, and I think every other thing should naturally fall in place.